Welcome back, folks. What a time to be alive. Our analysis and our bias was absolutely spot on. Unfortunately, the execution was lacking, but that had a very good reason. I'm going to explain you everything into detail in this video. If you like the content, guys, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Without further ado, let's start diving in. And I first want to start off with actually where we left off, and that was somewhere here. And I said I'm flipping my bias to bearish. I also said it here, trade war sorted, I flipped bearish. This is next for Bitcoin. I also said it's pretty bad, and also on the Liberation Day we got a big dump. Also talked about that in detail, so please check out those videos. The reason why I got bearish here was because we flipped market structure on multiple time frames. If you look here, then you can see approximately here, then you can see they were taking out this low with this big dump. That was the break of structure, and then actually we got this very ugly zigzag here around that point of control. I didn't change my bias at all. I still think we would have gone lower, but actually I was hoping for, well, actually a little bit of a higher price, because all of this zigzagging here around the point of control on Wednesday into Thursday, even Friday and Saturday, there was just barely anything to trade. This is very tight, as you can see, a bit more than 2% over 3 days. My bias was still lower, and I told you, you can go back into this video. I have said back then, if we are coming lower to take out this low right here, the golden pocket, I think we are going to dump much lower. We're also going to take out this one. We're also going to take out this one. It can happen in a swift move, but the line in the sand needs to be that 78.6 and that SFP trade. I'm absolutely not presetting anything. Thank God I didn't, because then we had this big move down. So the bias was correct. The bias of us going lower was correct. But like I said at the beginning of the video, the execution was not so good. And what I mean with that is that I was not exposed to the short side. And if I'm just taking my trading rules, I said I'm not short from here. We also have a perfect double top. And we have this high that's not been taken out. I want price to go higher to take it out before I go short. Of course, that didn't happen. But also here I was waiting for something more and something of a better backtest. Maybe a bit more of a spike, or maybe hitting that trend line again, hitting the golden pocket. Because matter of fact, if I just pull a fib retracement from this high to this low, you can see we did not even hit the 0.5. So there was just no reason for me to get into a short trade. And also can take this out, and then eventually we dump lower. And when was the dump? It was right on Sunday, Asia, early in the morning. So yeah, none of the markets were open, and then we just dumped down. Absolute cascade event. I did, however, warn everyone in the Discord. If you want to join it, it's completely free. Check out the link in the description. I messaged everyone on Friday. I said this looks very suspicious, because on Friday the stock market had a huge dump down. You can see that here on this big red candle right here, and I said BTC is not moving. In the days before it was moving in tandem to the damn tick, and now suddenly we're not seeing anything anymore. Find it very suspicious. I think someone is holding a price. That's also what happened. And then when the liquidity was the lowest, then they start dumping the price, and you can see that we now took out everything very fast all at once, and we also created a new low. That begs the question, is the low in? To be very honest, for BTC I'm saying no, the low is not in. I think we're going to head lower. However, for the stock market I'm not sure, because this is the S&P 500, and the top to the absolute bottom has been a minus of 21.6%. A minus of 20% or more happens once every few years, and you can see this very nice strong green daily candle. So I think we are ready for some movement to the upside. Why is that important? Well, like I just told you, is that BTC and the S&P 500 are moving very much synchron. So once we see the S&P 500 going up, we can expect BTC to go up. That is also the reason why the trading hasn't been all too clean, because once S&P 500 starts dumping, except then for last Friday. You also see the price of BTC dumping. I also didn't like this structure here, and I wanted all highs to be taken out, but eventually you see the S&P rolling over and also BTC. So it's almost like it has no free will on its own, and therefore you also see that some of these levels, I mean, look at this, are just being front run, are not being taken out. It just looks super ugly, and then eventually you get this big move out of the freaking nowhere. So yeah, this is almost like you need to get into a trade, do a Hail Mary, hope that you're on the correct side, and then just let it play out. That is not my kind of trading. I want to see clear levels, clear reactions, and something that is clean, and not something that is overshooting a level, that's front running level, or something that has just a bad risk to reward. Because also here, if I'm taking a trade right here, there's only one way where I can put my stop loss, that is somewhere here at the highs or even here. That is just a bad risk to reward. So yeah, it has caused me to be without a trade already yeah, quite a lot of times, where actually I was really aiming for a good target. Other than that, we of course still have the mother of all golden pockets underneath us, 72 to 70k, where I said I think we're going to bottom out just before or just under, because everyone is looking at this with all these tops. You have this fake yellow line here, that is the all-time high. We also front run that. That makes me think that eventually we are going lower. However, for now I am looking for longs. That maybe sounds a little bit weird. For now I'm looking for longs, but again, that has to do with everything with the S&P 500. S&P looks ready for a bounce. It looks ready for some relief, at least for today, maybe tomorrow. Therefore, for now I am looking for a scalp to the upside. That could be somewhere in this area. Whoa, somewhere in this area from 79 to approximately 78, maybe slightly lower, but I hope the price stabilizes here and then to go higher. Why? I have a couple of levels inside of this box. If you want to know which levels those are, again, feel free to join the Discord. The link is in the description, somewhere between 79 and 78, and then I want to see a move higher. We are kind of right away done also bouncing into resistance, that is 81 to 82. Why? Well, very simple. There was just all of these lows, as you can see here, and it is the value area low of the range. So I expect quite some turbulence starting off from 81 to 82. Would you reclaim that? Then you're getting back into the range, but I want to see a daily close above at least 81,000. Daily close above 81,000 makes me a little bit more bullish, but for now, like I said, I am looking for a long scalp, and I would treat it as a scalp and until we go lower again. Could we go lower again? Yes, probably very soon. Maybe within 48 hours, because there is something with the tariffs going on that is pretty much a given. It's pretty much sure, and that will be the next step in the tariff trading war. If you want to know what I'm exactly pointing out here, then again, feel free to join the Discord. It's probably going to go into effect in the next 48 hours, and that could cause a pretty big lag to the downside. So therefore, what I'm looking at right now, this is just a scalp. It is a day trade somewhere between 78 and 79, bringing it up a couple percent, and we'll see it then within 24 to 48 hours. And then of course, if that comes in effect with the new tariffs and the trading war, the next step, like I just said, maybe then we need to get into shorts to target this low right here, because like I said, I'm not sure that the low is in. If I just simply look here at market Cipher B, you can see that the daily is absolutely not done. It's not curving at all. Money flow is also an inward curve, and even on the weekly, this actually looks pretty bad. It almost looked good. It almost looked like the momentum wave was going to do something like this, and the VWAP as well, and the money flow, but then we just had this bad week, and you can see that everything is just rolling over. So the weekly is absolutely not bottomed out, and this will still take a long time, and therefore I'm saying the low is not in. I think we're gonna go lower. I just hope this time that I will be exposed to a nice short trade. Guys, please let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? What do you think the stock market is gonna do? Please let me know. I'm super curious. And when you're down there anyways, do me a favor by liking, subscribing, clicking the bell, clicking all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think that's useful. See you guys very soon again in the next one. Bye bye.